Rich.
That's fine, okay.
Hello, Aaron, please.
Good afternoon, Mayor and councillors. I'd like to begin by quoting you, Filth, from Newsline 6th, April 23. Councillors are determined to realise their vision for Christchurch as a city of opportunities. Our city must continue to thrive and grow sustainably by attracting new businesses, people and investment. We want to provide, encourage, enable and improve the services that are essentially the sustainable growth, resilience, livable neighbourhoods, safe and healthy natural environments, and to support diverse cultural interests, activities and events. My question is this: is it possible to realise a vision of a city of opportunities when the average household rates have gone up and will continue to increase on an average, and I'm talking on New Zealand's average here, of about 20% a year, while the average household income has increased by a mere 6.2%. And now, off the press, the GDP entered negative growth for the first time in decades at negative 3.9%. We've just heard about that this week. It seems almost obtuse to promise sustainable growth, resilience, etc., when the people of Christchurch are struggling under the weight of increased council debt, let alone all of the other increasing debts that are going on. Mortgage rates have just tripled, I believe, in some people's cases. How does the council equate resilience when a significant number of people have no financial resilience? It seems somewhat trite to expect the people of Christchurch to be managing their finances better when the council is pushing to increase debt by anywhere around, well, let's just make up the number. 20% it seems. With respect to Christchurch being a city of opportunities, what opportunities are there when so many residents are struggling to fill up their car or put 3 whole meals on the table? My greatest concern with LTB, being in the world of psychology, structural psychology for about the last 30 years, is the psychological impact on the people of Christchurch due to these rates rises. The impact not only on the people of the Christchurch, but due to the very increasing debt, their children and children's children. Psychological impact that could be avoided if a more ecological, sorry about the terminology, but that is the psychological word, human needs-centred view was taken with regards to Christchurch's future. Ecology, which is human, people, family-centred. The legacy that this financial debt creates for the people of Christchurch is a legacy of stress and anxiety. I work with people every day. I see this every day. The stress and anxiety is the foundation of many of the increasing mental health issues that we know in Christchurch alone the DHB cannot cope with. Research from CFFC, Commission for Financial Capability, released to support Mental Health Awareness Week, shows that 69% of New Zealanders are concerned about money. No shit. With that figure rising to 74% of women, well, they look after the home. They're probably more, nodding, they're probably more aware of what's going on financially than most of us blokes. Nodding. Mm-hmm. So here we go. And then 82% of those aged 18 to 34. We have the highest incidence of suicide in that age group in the Western world. The concern manifests in a variety of ways, with 49% of feeling stressed, 34% missing out on social activities because they can't afford it, 31% not accessing health services because they might, they have to use the money for something else. How much is it to visit a doctor? And can you be seen even these days? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wait 2 weeks to see a doctor. By that time, God, you've either dropped dead or you're in hospital. Making unhealthy eating choices. And other impacts, including with personal relationships, feeling embarrassed. I mean, this is huge. My daughter's 20. She is so embarrassed about going out because she can't afford to buy a drink. I mean, that's peer. That's important stuff. This is how we live. We are human beings. To me, this is now an issue of morality. How does one argue for such increases without including a discussion about the psychological and moral issues that such rates and, in general, living costs increases are creating? Maybe think of people who live in Christchurch as more than rate payers, more than factors of fiscal health for the city, as a first step in creating a long-term plan that will not enslave its people for the next generation or 2 or 3 or 5. When will we begin conversations about our city with its people at the centre of conversation? for too long, we've been focusing on growth in terms of economy, infrastructure, transport, tourism, all of those beautiful, glossy things. All the things that people need and use, and yet not the actual human inhabitants. In the end, isn't a city designed for the people who inhabit it? Who wants to inhabit a city that's been squeezed at the basic level by ideals that have very little to do with and seldom acknowledge the fundamental needs of residents? How am I going for time? Oh, good grief.
Yeah.
I've got a lot more there. I mean, I think I work with this all the time. I've been running groups for the last 2 or 3 years. We came to Christchurch from Hawke's Bay, from Auckland, all that sort of, Dorklanders. But fundamentally, I've never seen anything like what's happening in Christchurch. This is an interesting city. You've had some pretty traumatic things happen. And now, you've had rebuilds. Some people I know are still waiting for a rebuild. And then they don't even have a house and they're paying for that. And then they're paying the rates on that. And that's just gone up, well, whatever, call it. Yeah. So my personal feeling is we need to start thinking about the psychology of these people, human beings who live in a city for humans.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Nadia, please.